Once you arrive here to the top, you get to see the beautiful Machu Picchu down there.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Paul, I'm a tour guide and tour leader here in Peru, and welcome to the Deep Andes. On this video, we're going to share something very important with you since you are planning to travel to Peru and more specifically to Machu Picchu. Considering that a series of regulations have changed, let's see which kind of ticket is the most convenient for you. Already on the video, we're going to follow, in this case, the third option to buy a ticket right in the official Machu Picchu webpage. Then, this appears as Montaña Machu Picchu plus circuit number 3. As it always happens, when you go to Machu Picchu, you have to take the bus, and after 30 minutes, you arrive to the entrance area where you still have the chance to use the restrooms, which you have to pay, by the way. Then you go to the main entrance where you show your passport and your entrance ticket. Afterwards, you just continue inside approximately 50 meters flat, then you turn left up the stairs to ascend this trail in zigzags on the south of the Inca city. Already on the trail, you will be able to appreciate the first views of Machu Picchu and for sure the dimension of such an amazing human work, the deep valley, the mountains around, and more. By the way, this trail corresponds to those tickets that basically permit you to see and observe Machu Picchu, the 𝗤𝗄𝗏 or Incan city, from those traditional postcard views. On the webpage, there are a series of combinations, though here we will concentrate in how this option looks like. And let me tell you, from my personal perspective, I would recommend you this rather than the 𝗏𝗏 Picchu ticket, which alone just permits you to see the lower part of the Incan city, without the so-called postcard view, unless you buy an extra ticket, right like some of my clients do. Once you arrive to this original sector of the Inca Trail, you will find this sign indicating you the way to the Machu Picchu Mountain. Then you turn right up the stairs until you arrive to the checkpoint, which is very close. While you walk this area, the most of the time I can get to see the llamas standing up there, grazing or eating some of those little herbs in between of the rocks of the walls, or just posing for your pictures. Remember to take care of them, do not feed them, do not disturb them, and try not to obligate them to be part of your pictures. Although they are kind of used to people, they are always free and they can be unpredictable. And just in case, if you want to spend hours with llamas, alpacas, and plenty more Andean camelids of different varieties, we have a really cool site next to Cusco City, where you even learn about the Incan textiles and more. Check in our videos and let us know. Already at the entrance, you will have to show your passport and ticket again. To additionally sign up this book with your personal data plus the time you are beginning to hike. People do this in here because they want to make sure everyone exits, since there's a limit of time you can stay inside of the trail. Pretty much until midday, considering the distance you have to cover, the altitude you have to go to the top, and of course the schedules, 7 and 8 in the morning, to access to this part of the Inca Trail, always inside the historic sanctuary of Machu Picchu. About the altitude, you start in the checkpoint at 2,450 meters above the sea level, which makes 8,000 feet, and once you start, you notice how a pre-Columbian trail looks like. In fact, very similar to all those 15th century paths inside of the Andes, high jungle, and part of the coast. At the same time, this is how the famous 4-day trek to the Incan wonder of the world looks like as well. During the first minutes, you have zigzags and steps all the time up and turning more and more inclined, while your views become better and better. I'm sure you're telling yourself already if it might be a good idea to go on this road. Well, I could say that with more than 13 years of experience, that if people over their 60s arrive to the top of this mountain, which could be your limits? And as I always say, you have to adopt a rhythm while you hike. Stop before your body even asks for a rest, breathe deeply a couple of times, recover, and continue on that same way. Of course, if you have some health condition, plans can change. We will tell you though how to do if you still have this type of ticket. Whenever you arrive to this section of this amazing hike, where the trail becomes narrower, consider yourself being over the 70% of the way. For sure, since you are gaining altitude, the views are more and more dramatic and spectacular. Afterwards, you arrive to this kind of Incan construction from which we see just the foundations. Next to it, this sort of natural filter adapted to the path, strategically located, permitting you to know that the top is closer. Remember to be very careful already on these sections, amigos. We wouldn't like you to be part of those raids where people accidentally or imprudently offer themselves to the mountains here. Please be careful, that's what I always say to our people.
So whenever deciding which of the mountains to climb here already, or Machu Picchu, we definitely recommend you the Machu Picchu Mountain. And this is what you're going to see, for sure. We're going to wait a little bit until it opens, but it still looks great. Welcome to the mountain.
So up to the time of the year you come, you will have different landscapes. From the end of May to September, clean sky from the morning to the afternoon in Machu Picchu, at least the most of the time during those days. This video was elaborated on March end. That's why the clouds are ascending progressively, up to the temperatures, wind and hours of the morning. While between November and February, I wouldn't guarantee you to see Machu Picchu right like you're gonna notice from the top of this mountain. The humidity is pretty high and the clouds are very dense, unless you're lucky or unless you wait more time on top to see the Incan city and the rest of the view.
So we're already descending from the mountain. There was not too many people today, and it's definitely a good option for those who still want to hike these Inca trails around. The views are quite special, as you could see in the other videos. Well, in here, when you come to Machu Picchu and you want to elect the correct ticket, there's one that says that takes you to the Machu Picchu Mountain. The views are spectacular from here, and whenever you have some clouds, cool, the ascent still beautiful. And for sure, once you arrive here to the top, you get to see the beautiful Machu Picchu down there, even with the clouds dancing and suddenly opening. So it's an incredible experience to be up here. From here, from the top, while the picture looks really tiny, you can still see some of the glaciers around, in fact, and of course some views of the 4 days Inca Trail. You can see Aguas Calientes very little from here. Sure, on the way back you have to be very careful, because we have the steps that you came up through really steep. I'll see you in the bottom, and let's try to go for more here in Machu Picchu.
In terms of how long does it take to arrive to the top, people regularly make it in 2 hours and some more minutes, and approximately 1 hour to go back down to the checkpoint. And if you don't make it to the top in less than 3 hours, please think about your schedule, your plan and timing. Sometimes people have their train that same day, and considering that after the mountain they still have the tour inside of the Inca city, you can easily spend more than 5 hours between the mountain and the main attraction. As you can see, this trail is recommended for those who did not arrive to the desired ticket, for those who want to hike more, do more, and stay more time inside, for those who have an acceptable physical condition, and for sure, for those who want to see more than the regular views of the Inca wonder of the world. The final tip for this section: please, if you are not a hiking someone and you still have the ticket for this section, do not feel obligated to arrive to the more than 8,000 feet of altitude of the Machu Picchu mountain top. You can go just to the half, or even better, you can go straight to the view of the Machu Picchu Incan city, next to the so-called guard house. That's how it's included in the ticket. So that's precisely where this circuit continues, already down in the bottom. I'm sure you're understanding that if you have booked this type of ticket, you are supposed to go first to the hike on the mountain, of course, and as we just said, if you have all the conditions and the will. Then you can come to the view that corresponds to this circuit. In the case of the video, dear travelers, notice that it suddenly became cloudy. Actually, we're blending some of the images of that same day. And for matters of filming and the clouds at 7 in the morning, I wanted to do a time-lapse. In this section, that's why I came here first. You just care about the way through place. In the case of you, you will arrive here to this area of the view after the hike by 10 or 11 in the morning. These people around us right now are actually from the 4 days Inca Trail. Yes, this is the area of their arrival in the morning. By the way, we invite you to watch our video about the 2 days and the 4 days Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, the same as our short but very impressive and beautiful time-lapse from this view area. Continuing with our circuit, after your hike and after your pictures from the platform of the ancient guardhouse, please go down to where we started our video. You will be permitted to exit. Once you're out, take advantage of the toilets. Rest some time while you eat or drink something, in case there's a fast food there too. Do not forget to check the time, because your second round to the Inca city's lower part doesn't have precisely a strict time to start. However, always please check your timing if you have a train later, because if you have a guided walk, you will definitely take 2 hours and 40 minutes while the tour, plus the time you have to line up to take the public bus and the bus ride down by itself. These two last ones can easily take more than 45 minutes up to the season. However, sometimes there's not even people queuing up. Once inside Machu Picchu Inca City, as we just mentioned, you're allowed to go through the lower area, and from my personal point of view as a guide, here is where you will see that this ticket corresponding to the circuit number 3 plus the hike on the mountain was not a bad idea, because you will be very close to the Temple of the Sun, the Royal Mausoleum, the House of the Priest, the House of the Inca, and other remarkable points which we will try to see while we walk. Once we arrive to this point, there is something very important we have to responsibly tell you, because the circuit tree officially takes you to the right from here, shortening in some way your tour and your stay inside of the Inca city. However, we are still allowed to go to the left, unless we have our guards controlling people, telling them to show their tickets, which did not happen to many tour guides with their groups. Here on the map we can see where we are precisely. After you turn left, you can still arrive to these constructions and join again almost at the end circuit tree, as it appears on the map. If our authorities are watching this video and we are wrong, please, we ask them to forgive us. But honestly guys, we were doing the longer way without someone telling us we were wrong. Going on with the video, you walk through the main plaza, then you arrive to these constructions and just follow the only way clockwise. At this level of the walk, you pass next to the 𝗓𝗏𝗄𝗃 Picchu Mountain checkpoint and go for more views and explanations on the east of the Incan city. Already here, you will find this letter telling you about the access to the Temple of the Condor, which we consider something very important and unique too. Then, if you are in the correct time, please go there, or you can just continue straight to find circuit number 3 with the water mirrors inside another palace. At the end, there's nothing left than just exit. Just to sum up, I have to say that this ticket can give you a quite longer stay inside Machu Picchu. With the mountain and with the proper tour, the best of these are the series of different views, and for sure the fact that you can still get inside of the Inca house and the Temple of the Sun and the rest. Probably the main disadvantage is that there's not possibility to walk next to the sundial called Intihuatana, or next to the denominated main temple, the quarries, and some other views different than the ones you have here in Circuit 3. That's why we elaborated these and more videos, for you to know more about the new regulations in Machu Picchu, the circuits, and which is more convenient for you. If this video helped you to decide better, please give us your thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with all those people interested to come to Machu Picchu, Sacred Valley, Cusco City, the 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗃 Mountain, the Lake Titicaca, etc. Thanks for supporting Peruvian guides and travel operators, and for sure, if you'd like us to tailor-made your trip to the Inca wonder of the world, you have our references down in the description. I'll see you in the next video. My name is Paul from the Deep Andes.